Hello communications class, how are you all doing today? And a big hello to you too, Miss Stefani. Honestly, I just want to start this video off by saying how excited I am to complete this college presentation. Not only am I excited to talk to you all directly and give you a better insight into who I am today and who I want to be in the future, but this college presentation honestly opened my eyes in so many different ways. When asked to really dissect our career path and the steps that we need to take in order to achieve our dream career, in order to achieve really our American dream, it honestly opened my eyes to so many different possibilities, so many different routes I can take in the educational path that I am on in order to achieve my career and my dream even faster. I found this college presentation so educational, and I just want to say thank you for actually assigning this, as it was so incredibly helpful. With that being said, let's go ahead and move into the presentation, and let's talk about who I am first. So again, my name is Antonio Gonzalez, and I am a freshman this year at Grossmont College. I'm also 21 years old, and I know what you might be thinking hearing that is, why is he 21 and a freshman? Well, I really have a good explanation behind this. I didn't want to enter college right away, right after high school. I had no idea what I wanted to do career-wise, and I had no idea what I eventually wanted to major in. With that being said, I decided, why don't I just go into the world, start working full-time, and figure out who I am as a person and what I eventually want to go to school for. I've always been a really big people pleaser. I've always been a people person. I've always been super outgoing with this big personality. And I kind of decided, maybe hotels are a really good fit for me. So I decided to apply to a resort in Pacific Beach called the Pacific Terrace Hotel. They're a 4-star beachfront hotel in Pacific Beach. They didn't have any front desk positions, which I really wanted to do, but they did have a bellman position, so I'm like, why not give it a shot? So I was working at the Pacific Terrace for 3 months, and the manager came out to me one day and said, Antonio, we need you to work the front desk. You have a lot of talent to be outside. Let's bring you inside and, let's see if you can help us boost up our reviews and everything along that nature. And I'm like, yes, absolutely. Long story short, within a year and a half, with hard work and dedication, I was promoted to front desk supervisor, and I became the youngest supervisor in the hotel's history of being opened about 70 years. This was such an incredible honor, and I really thought that hotels was something that I wanted to pursue after getting that incredible promotion and actually being looked at by management to be in management within the next year. I then, about a couple months later, after having this position for about 3 years, I got a job opportunity to open up the Legacy Resort Hotel and Spa, which is a 4-diamond property located in Mission Valley. A lot of you might have even seen it. It's a brand new development right off the 8. I got this job opportunity to be the front desk supervisor, to hire my entire staff actually, and open this hotel from the ground up. Unfortunately, like a lot of us, the pandemic decided to make its appearance and we all got laid off. That is when I decided, it is time to come back to school. I've told you a little bit about my story already, but just for a little recap, I went to about 6 different schools in between the time period of 7th grade to 12th grade. So, I really had issues finding people that I had, things in common with, finding people that I could actually trust, because everybody that really came into my life ended up leaving at some point. I struggled so much with confidence. I had insecurities out the door. I was honestly lost as a human being. These were supposed to be fun times in life where you got to have fun without the responsibility that adults have, having to pay bills, having to make sure your car insurance is paid, the list goes on. And I couldn't even enjoy that growing up in school. So I decided to create a motto. I wanted a career that my mission and obligation was to build confidence and eliminate insecurities. And I took that motto and I threw it at so many different career paths, and only one career path matched that. And that is having a career path in plastic surgery. Plastic surgeons, their mission, their determination, their motto is to take somebody that is struggling in some way and say, what can I do to help you? They specialize in building up confidence and eliminating insecurities. And it just clicked. I'm like, that is what I need to do for the rest of my life. So that's who I am, and that is what I'm going to school for. So now that you have a little bit of idea of my past and who I am as a person today, and now you officially know what I'm going to school for, I think this is a perfect time to dive right into my dream board, to my dream board's goals, and let's go ahead and start off with education. So obviously, for somebody that wants a career in plastic surgery, it comes with a whole lot of educational requirements that you need to meet. You know, education is such a huge portion of this college presentation, so I really want to break it up. I want to first start off by talking about the educational goals at Grossmont that I want to achieve. You know, there are so many different routes that an individual can take in order to have a career path in plastic surgery. You know, the more traditional route is for an individual to go to a 4-year college, graduate with their bachelor's degree. From there, they go to a medical school program, and then from there, they start the residency where they're there, you know, for years and years, and they complete their trainings and pretty much all of the requirements in order to be a doctor or surgeon. You know, for somebody like me, I really wanted to take a different approach and actually want to become a registered nurse before I become a board certified plastic surgeon. So I actually have so many educational goals that I want to complete here at Grossmont College. Obviously, the most common one is to complete all of your general ed requirements, but I also want to take this time to really focus on completing all of my prereqs, and I really have a lot of interest in joining the Grossmont College nursing program. You know, like I said in the previous portion of this college presentation, I do want to start off as a registered nurse before becoming any type of board certified plastic surgeon or doctor. I really have always had the hopes and dreams of being part of the San Diego State Nursing Program, which I know is very, very hard to get into. That is why I'm working so hard. But I honestly think Grossmont College is such an amazing stepping stone. They are preparing me super, super well for the future. So moving forward, I want to talk about the required courses that I will need to take here in college. Obviously, many of these courses will be found in my prereqs as well as will be part of the nursing program that I will eventually be a part of. But the courses that I will need to take will be 2 semesters of general biology, 2 semesters of chemistry, and 2 semesters of physics with labs. I will also need to take numerous calculus and statistic classes as well. It is also said for people that want to pursue a career in plastic surgery, you can even take electives such as supplemental anatomy, physiology, and even zoology that will prepare you for treating patients specifically with trauma and body image, you know, issues. These are courses that I definitely want to take at some point in my bachelor's degree, just to, you know, have a better understanding of the plastic surgery field. So after getting an associate's degree at Grossmont College, I do see myself taking the next step at San Diego State University. I would hate to leave San Diego. You know, we're 2 hours away from the desert, we're an hour away from the snow, we're 30 minutes away from the beach. We are in such a prime location. So I really want to stay here in San Diego and complete my bachelor's degree. I also see myself, after completing my bachelor's degree, my hope and dream is to become a medical student here at UCSD. Hopefully everything lines up. You know, I know with hard work and dedication, anything you put your heart, mind, and soul to, you can achieve, especially here in America. So I'm very excited to take these next steps as hopefully one day a medical student. So moving on to the next portion of this presentation, we are going to be covering careers specifically. Now obviously I've already told you that I am very interested in having a career of being a board certified plastic surgeon. So you already know that, but the next step I want to talk to is about the annual income that a board certified plastic surgeon, specifically here in California, makes. Now obviously this number ranges whether if you're a board certified plastic surgeon here in San Diego or if you are one in LA, like the Beverly Hills area, or if you're one in like San Francisco going up the coast. So on average, plastic surgeons per year make anywhere between $224,000 a year, ranging anywhere between that number to about $500,000 a year. So honestly, it's a very, very, very rewarding job. However, you do have to keep in mind with student loans and everything, in order to achieve that dream, you are going to be in quite a bit of debt, I would say, for the first definitely few years. It's a long process. It takes anywhere between 12 and 16 years of schooling, of training to become a board certified plastic surgeon. So obviously when you are certified, the reward is going to be great, but you will be having to pay back many loans and many bills, I should say, in order to really be on your feet and in order to enjoy your life as your dream profession. You know, for every single person that wants a career in plastic surgery, every plastic surgeon wants to be known in Beverly Hills. You know, for me, I'd rather stay local. I want to be here in San Diego. So my dream company to work for is the La Jolla Cosmetic Surgery Center. I actually already have an in with them. I know the entire staff. I'm actually in the process of being employed by them to work front desk as a patient coordinator. They are fully aware that I'm going to school for this profession. That they're one of the reasons why they actually wanted me to be an RN, so I could actually do injections for them while I'm in school, so I can be making money while I'm in med school. So they are guiding me, they are giving me the tools and resources to be successful. So hopefully, fingers crossed, one day I will be one of their board certified plastic surgeons. So I want to transition at this point in the presentation to more of a personal route. Obviously, career is such a big part of an individual's life, and we work day and night in order to achieve it. But there are other things that I look for in life, and that is eventually having a spouse and eventually having and growing a family. You know, there are so many characteristics that I look for in a human being, and I just want to go through about 10 of them with you. Let's go ahead and start with number 1. So number 1 is worth ethic. Worth ethic is something that is so important to me in a human being. You cannot be lazy. You have to wake up every day and will do anything and everything in your power in order to achieve your dreams. So worth ethic has to be at the top of my list when looking for a future me. So moving on to number 2, some of you may laugh, some of you may say that this is a little bit of a stereotype, but I have to marry somebody that wants to be at home with the kids while I work. I've always been somebody that loves to work. I've had a job since I was 15 years old at Jamba Juice at Grossmont Center in La Mesa. I have always been somebody that loves to work. So with that being said, I want to be the person in the relationship that goes out and makes the money and brings it home so I can spoil my family and give them a life and a lifestyle that I never had. I want to give my future spouse and my kids the world. So, you know, when looking for a spouse, I want somebody that, you know, will take the responsibility of the children while I go and work for us. Number 3, I look for somebody that will have the ultimate respect for my career. Obviously, somebody that wants to be a doctor or surgeon, so much of their life is going to be devoted to school, and when they actually pursue their profession, they will be working such long days and hours and will be absent, you know, from your life and from your relationship. So, you know, for my future spouse to have a really good understanding of the love and the passion that I have for my career is something that is so important to me. Number 4 is somebody that is family oriented. You know, I'm Latin, I come from a big Latin family. I want you to really have the same. I want you to be obsessed with your parents. I want you to be obsessed with your siblings. I want you to have a huge relationship with them. It's so important for you to be obsessed with my family just as much as I will be obsessed with your family. Somebody that comes from a big, good family is something that I definitely look forward in a spouse. Number 5 is a common one, and you know, it's pretty easy. Just make me smile. Always, you know, when I walk through the door, always make me laugh. Always just bring the ultimate joy in my life. I've always been somebody that has been hard on myself, that gets discouraged pretty fast. So if you are always smiling and making me happy and bringing the joy that I need in my life, it will honestly impact me in such an incredible way, and honestly, you will be the one for me. Number 6 is a little bit different, might also be a funny one, but you gotta love animals. I am a type of person, if I see a dog on the side of the street, I will pick it up, take it to Petco, make up a collar and a name tag with my address on it. You gotta be prepared for the unexpected. I am a huge animal lover, and you have to definitely be one too. Moving on to number 7, obviously by watching this video already, you can tell I have a huge personality and I am super outgoing. You gotta have a good personality. This kind of wraps into the whole joy topic, but you gotta have even a bigger personality than me, if not equal. We gotta make each other laugh. You gotta laugh at my jokes even when they're not funny. Personality is such a huge thing that I look for in a future spouse. Going on to number 8, I'm not going to even sugarcoat anything. I have a little bit of a temper, and honestly, some say I could use anger management sometimes. So you got to have patience for all of this. You got to have patience for this big personality. You got to have patience when I'm upset. It's honestly something that is a requirement. There's no going around it. If you do not have patience for me, it's probably not going to work out. Number 9, you gotta love to travel. So for me personally, I'm a little bit afraid to fly, so I obviously need somebody to motivate me to actually get on the plane, but I want to see the world. You know, we have such a beautiful world with such beautiful cultures. I want to be able to see, you know, ancient architecture. I want to see everything that this world has. So you gotta love to travel. And lastly, number 10. Now this is one of the most important characteristics, and honestly at the end of the day it might be a deal breaker and it is a requirement. You know, my faith, which is the Christian faith, talks about finding a spouse that is equally yoked. And I really do believe in this. You know, I really don't think relationships work as well when you have somebody that believes the complete opposite politically and spiritually. You know, I really want to find somebody that believes at least somewhat on the same level politically and wants to have a relationship with Jesus Christ. It's just something that I look for, and it would really make me happy to find that in my future spouse. So we talked about the characteristics that I look for in a spouse, but I really want to touch up on kids now. Kids is something that I want, and I'm telling you, I want them right away. My dream is to have 4 kids. Now let's go over the order because it's very specific. I want a boy first, and then I want a girl, and then I want twin boys because I want to dress them the same. I want them to have curly hair where I can mess with it and dress them in Zara and Gap clothes. I have this whole plan, and I would love to even tell you more about it one day in the future. But having 4 kids is definitely something I've always had an interest in, and hopefully one day I'm able to achieve that. So what makes up a family? You have a spouse, you have kids. Well, what am I missing? Animals. So I talked about in the previous portion of this presentation that I'm a huge animal lover. So obviously having animals is something that I want so bad. So I've always grown up with a lab. So obviously I would love to have at least 2 to 3 dogs, labs. Right now I have a Dalmatian German Shepherd mix, which is such a crazy mix, but she is so cute. But obviously at least having 3 dogs. I really don't like cats, but maybe one of my kids will want a goldfish, which I'm forward to, but I'm a huge dog person. And then a retirement dog. I've always talked about when I retire I want a Basset Hound. I love their big red saggy eyes. I love that they just want to crash all day and be lazy. So having a Basset Hound as a retirement animal is something I want eventually too. So for the next portion of this presentation, I really want to cover sort of the materialistic things that I am looking forward to hopefully have in my life. The first thing I want to talk about is my dream house. Now, my dream house is going to be completely white with white crown molding. I want a white kitchen. Obviously, having 4 kids, I'm probably going to have to readjust my dream, but it's definitely something that I love. I love sort of the rustic feel as well. I'm a huge beach person, so a house near the beach, possibly maybe even in the La Jolla area if I'm able to afford it with my, hopefully my dream career comes true, is something that I'm very interested in having. At this point in my life, I'm also been very blessed to have a home up in Big Bear. So to be able to have a vacation home somewhere in the wilderness where we can go to escape, turn off our cell phones, and just be with the wild and be in wilderness without all the distractions is something that I really want in life as well. So moving on, let's talk about probably my most favorite topic in this presentation, and that is my dream car. I have so many dream cars, but if I had to narrow it down, my top 2 dream cars would have to be a Bentley or a Rolls Royce. I just love that type of luxury car. It's not as sporty, it's more luxury and just really, for lack of better words, beautiful. So both of them, you know, would have to be pearl white and be blacked out, just a traditional beautiful Rolls Royce or Bentley. If I can't achieve that, I honestly would settle for, you know, a nice looking Lexus as well. I love those cars, and they're, you know, they're pretty affordable, I could say, and I would be just as happy with those types of cars as well. So for somebody who grew up in San Diego, I spent most of my life in the East County area of El Cajon, a lot of us grow up taking advantage of all the seasons. So in the wintertime, we go up to the mountains and snowboard and ski. Also in the winter times, we'll go to the desert and take out buggies and motorcycles in the motorhomes and spend, a weekend out in the desert. And then obviously, when it comes to the summertime, we head out to the beach and we surf and boogie board and just enjoy the ocean. So when it comes to toys that I want eventually, there's so many. I mean, I would say the main one I want is to have some desert toys. I want to be able to go out to the desert and have my kids experience what I experienced growing up. I also want a boat and some jet skis. I am such a water person. I want to be able to have a river or a bay day and take out the boat and jet skis as well. So many toys I would plan on working hard to achieve. So I want to transition this presentation now into talking about some things on my bucket list. Now, there are a few things. The number one thing I would say is I really want to eventually visit every single state in the US and sort of see what they're known for. So definitely visiting each state is something I really want to do. Another thing, it's kind of sounds funny, but I would love to run for a type of government position. This would maybe be after my retirement, maybe around my 60s, but maybe run for city council, run for mayor. I've always had an interest of maybe running for something higher, such as like a congressman or senator. So, I mean, you never know what's gonna come my way, but with all this personality and being such a people person, I have spent my entire life fighting for so many people, which I'll talk about in the next segment, but I have hopefully have a big calling for something along those lines. So maybe pursuing some type of government seat is something I'm interested in as well. So going into the last segment of this presentation, I want to talk about the end goal. So when I want to retire. Obviously, being somebody that wants to be a board certified plastic surgeon, my career is not going to start probably until my mid to approaching my late 30s. So obviously, I don't see myself retiring until probably my late 60s, going into my 70s. Hopefully, I'm still sharp in every way. But sort of around that time is when I would expect to really start to take it slower and start to just enjoy life after a lifetime of a successful career. Obviously when I get rolling in my career and, profit is coming in and we are financially, stable, we will be taking week vacations here and there, when I'm not working. But when I retire and, I have grandkids at this point, these are the times where I want to take my spouse and really, travel the world and do these amazing, fun things. So obviously, being a board certified plastic surgeon, I do think that it would support the lifestyle that I am looking to have. Honestly, I just want to be able to give my family more than I had growing up. And, I really don't have a long list of things to support my lifestyle. I'm very low-key, I'm very, to the point, so I don't think we'll have an issue there. So I want to wrap this college presentation talking about charities and organizations that I eventually want to consistently be able to fund and support. I do a lot now, but obviously being a full-time student and not working full-time, there's only so much I can do on a financial level in order to support these organizations that have such a special place in my heart. I am a huge advocate for helping women, and I volunteer at a pregnancy health clinic called the Culture of Life Pregnancy Health Center. What they are is they are a Planned Parenthood alternative for women that want to actually have their kids but have no idea how they are going to be able to give it a good life, or have no idea how they can balance a child while going to school. They come to us. We take them under our belt. We provide them with free babysitters, people like me that on our off days will go and babysit your kids so you can go and pursue your education. This place provides, prenatal care, provides free mammograms, provides free sonograms for these women. We also, and this is such an incredible thing that they provide, is they provide people with adoption referrals. So they will link you up with families that are having issues conceiving, and they will actually let you be able to have a relationship with your kid even though they under law belong to these new parents that are looking to adopt. So please check them out. They're called The Culture of Life. They're such an incredible organization, and I so look forward to eventually being able to fund them on such a substantial level, and hopefully one day being able to expand these clinics all around the US. Well, that wraps up my very first communications college presentation. I do hope you enjoyed my video, and I hope I gave you really good insight to who I am as a person. If you do have any questions, always feel free to email me. Have a great rest of your day.